Does anybody absolutely need some more time before we jump into things?
No.
I think we're mostly good.
All right. So last we played, we ended off in the Stagfall Caverns. You had fought off a basilisk, if I recall. Had turned. Who was it that it turned to stone briefly at the end there?
That was Min and
Yeah. Somebody else. Oh, it was Hush.
Crow.
The crow.
Yeah.
The elemental.
No, it wasn't. Wait, not just. It was.
Well, Hush. I remember Hush
There's two
turned to stone
people.
briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was someone else. Those two people.
Maybe it was
Because there was
Corvo.
enough. I think it was.
But either way, that was quickly dealt with by spreading the blood of the basilisk on the person that was affected, and you managed to get on out of there after defeating Hell Knight Ahala, breaking his ritual so that he couldn't summon any more hellish, devilish things, and rebuked the presence that he had in the region. And so let's head back to Chitterwood.
Yeah.
And you had made your way back out of Stagfall Caves, and I imagine there's a stretch of maybe an hour where nobody says much of anything, which is fine. And did we actually make it back to town, or did we end
I
up
think we
pretty much
finished right after the basilisk.
Okay, perfect. Chitterwood in, I guess it'd be around noon now. It does this thing where the light kind of comes in down through the canopy instead of kind of sideways through it. And the canopy is so thick that, of course, it's dim light for everybody, and everything's kind of gone this kind of dusty green color as the light filters through the canopy. The shadows are short, and you're not entirely positive when it starts, but at some point you become aware that you have an escort. Nothing you can really point at, just the underbrush is moving to your left a little too much, and then there's a branch swing somewhere overhead, and when there isn't any wind, and a bird call that you hear that quite obviously is not a bird. And then you see Zagnub drops out of a tree about 15 feet in front of all of you. And he lands in a crouch, comes up grinning. He's got the rows of those teeth, and his hands are spread wide and away from his weapons, which gives him a bit of a friendly appearance. And you see once again Zagdum is like, friends, welcome back, welcome.
Good to be back. You have dealt with the Hell Knight. He should bother you no longer.
He takes a long look at the state of you as you say this. You guys are probably covered in blood that isn't yours, and the stuff that you're carrying. He says, "This is great news, but you look terrible, Longshanks. Terrible look, but you bring terribly good news. Shall we head back to Thorngrip?"
Let's.
I believe we have
Yes,
no
wonderful.
business.
Yeah, a bit of rest and some food in the belly would do some good.
Points to each of you. And he's like counting you out one by one, making sure everybody's here. And he says, you did this Hell Knight have anything, very unique that the Oracle can show to the goblins of Thorngrip and tell them that the threat has been dealt with?
The
we
Hell
took
Knight
his armor.
plate is probably fairly unique.
Assuming you took that off of Firo's corpse, I imagine it's like in a bag or something, and you can show it to him. It's a very ill-fitting, stolen Hell Knight armor. The helmet's probably the most obvious trophy and the most legible one to the Goblin town, I imagine. But
I was actually planning to wear it, so I would imagine I would have it on by now.
oh shit!
It would
Well, if
fit.
you took the 10 minutes to don it, then yeah. It looks a little silly. It probably needs some adjustment to get it perfectly right. The chance of him having the same build as you is probably slim, but if you are wearing it, he will say, "Oh no, no, no! You cannot come in Thorngrip with that. No, no, ugly. You
Well, I
will
guess I'll
scare
take-
all the children.
10 more minutes to switch it out. I am
All the
only
children
wearing
will
it.
flee in terror." You have the
I am-
shield and everything.
Yeah, I am only wearing it to blend in so that we can deceive the knights before we learn all we can about them and then potentially kill them while they are not prepared to fight. But I can switch back to my old stuff just to walk around town.
Yes, probably for the best. Yes, there are young children in the village, of course. And
Did-
so
did you-
they'll stay around with you if you take some time to kind of swap out into something a bit more presentable. And they'll lead you back towards Thorngrip, and of course he walks you up to a section of the thorn wall that looks exactly like every other section of the wall and kind of reaches in about 8 inches through the barbs without looking, and he pulls on something, you hear a little snap, and the whole thing just kind of parts and peels open. You can't even really see exactly what he pulled on or how it works, but it feels different every time he opens it up. And the last time you came through here, the parents kind of pulled all the children away. You kind of remember that, but today there's maybe 30 goblins standing in a loose half circle around the inside of the gate. And it looks like they've been waiting a while. And there's a goblin child in a coat that is like 3 sizes too big and walks straight up to you and kind of looks up at all of you and maybe goes up to Min and like kind of touches your knee with a finger just to poke at you and looks at all the kind of like the viscera and the bits of like cracked leather on your outfit from the battle and then kind of bolts back towards their friends with a little laughter before you can do anything about it. And the cook fires outside are small and low and tucked into the roots of the sequoia tree and vented up through the hollows in the trunk. It looks like a lot of these little columns of smoke have been set as people start to put on a bit of a celebration as they've heard of your deeds, seemingly before you've even arrived. And above the gate, there is a crossbeam, which for them is above the head, but for you it's probably like chest height. There is 5 hunting bows and a coil of chain, and Zagnub points to that, and he says, the children have hung these up, a sign of good bounty and good things to come. As you kind of like had to walk underneath it or crouch underneath it to get in. But of course, after you finish kind of speaking with some of the goblins and they kind of present you with small gifts, which for the most part is just little bits of food, at the base of the sequoia in front of the shrine that you met the oracle at with all the painted faces on it, the old goblin is there, already standing, turned around, kind of looking at you. And they kind of bow their head with a smile on their face. I welcome you back to our village.
It's good to see you again. With all of our friends.
Yeah, I'm glad we all made it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The spirits have stopped shouting. In the dark, seemingly all at once, they all stopped shouting. He reaches over and kind of places his hand against one of the faces in the shrine. I have not heard the spirits this quiet in 20 years. Come, sit. Tell me of your deeds properly. And he'll sit you all down and just kind of ask you what went on. I imagine you kind of give a debrief of what you encountered in the caves. And he says, I suppose you did not have to come back here. What made you return to our village after the Hell Knight was dealt with? No doubt you have other things to get to.
Well, you had asked us to help with it. Seems only right that we come back and tell you of our success and give you the peace of mind that you deserve.
Thank you, of course. The ancestors don't thank you. They don't seemingly have a word for it. But what they have told me is that the debt is turned around now, which I suppose is close enough.
I believe we also may have come back to trade, correct?
You, of course, may trade. The necklace that I have given you for this journey, you are free to keep. It has served its purpose and has awakened to a new one, I believe. And Bracknap presents you with the original pendant that contained all the sort of occult energies that Hell Knight Ahala had kind of attuned into it. He presents you with Bracknap's pendant, which essentially is a pendant of the occult.
Ooh.
Guide it.
I will put that in the party stash for whomever would like to take it.
Oh,
Does any-
by the way, I've been looking for one of the Cleric Plus feats, and I can't seem to find it for the one that I had wanted to pick.
The Cleric Plus ones? Here, one sec.
Yeah. It was Traveling Channel.
It's because Clerics Plus is not enabled. Let me fix that for you. It's just going to do a quick reload.
Oh,
I
no.
can't see! The pendant, it blinds me.
You just dropped you. You fell back in that hole.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We never left the hole. We never got out of the fear hole.
We're all dreaming.
And we cut into like Act 5, and it was just it was a picture of the hole and all of our characters on the bottom dead.
There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, that's good because now it reloaded and gave me the. I was trying to find that whole plan levels thing and I didn't have it. Now I do.
That's
It's at the top
interesting.
right of your sheet. There's like a little staircase icon.
Yeah, it wasn't there until you reloaded.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
happens sometimes. Not all the modules load when you first come back.
That's awesome.
Where did we get the
And
Crying
so,
Angel pendant? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. One of the, let's see, one of the goblin elders will come over, and they have this staff that has a crystal that makes it look like the oak on the end of the branch is on fire, but you're not sure if it's just the heat radiating from this thing or if it actually is on fire, but it seems to actually emanate some light.
Whoa.
And Bracknap says, this is Nemi, one of our wise elders, and in the coming days, my replacement here in the village. I come from an older time, and Nemi brings fresh new perspectives. Nemi kind of bows her head, and she says, Bracknap speaks of the dead. I talk to the living, and the living of our village wish to ask you if you know if more men in black armor will be coming.
Almost assuredly.
I don't know if we're aware of any that are immediately a threat. Should always be wary.
But it is only a matter of time.
Well, the spirits have kept us safe for many years now, but times are changing, and I fear that if revolution is to come to Isger, then we may have to venture beyond the Thorngate on occasion. We will begin by teaching the young ones the old ways of war, in hopes that we never have to use it, but in preparation in case we do. You all look quite exhausted. You'll take some food.
Oh, thanks. I was hoping you would just say that.
So just
You don't
FYI,
happen to have anything to drink as well.
the table's not loading for me. Like I got in, put in the password. Now it's just a black screen.
Oh no.
I'll just give us some
Back.
time. Otherwise, refresh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Well, it shows you in, I think.
Oh, there we go. It's starting to load
Doesn't-
up.
There we go. But besides that, let's see. The village comes together to present you with a couple other small gifts. Most of them are like food and drink and things like that. But there is 2 vials of something they call quiet powder, which mechanically is is 2 lesser smoke balls that they give you. So I'll put those in the party stash.
Oh, well, that's alchemical, so we'll probably want to hold on to those.
They're wrapped in leaves and labeled in goblin with like a drawing of a nose with an X through it. You can take those. And that is that. So you guys can spend some downtime here in Thorngrip if of course you need to. The reputation of the party goes up by 2.
Yay!
So I'll make sure to add that.
Huzzah!
Put you guys at 13 reputation.
Excellent.
You guys killed the Slayers, right? The Asgari Slayers? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, the ones we set up
Mhm.
the trap, the very obvious trap in the middle of their camp.
Okay. Then that Nimi will say that it's most regrettable that the Isgari Slayers had to die. Blood being spilled in Chitterwood, I fear, from what Bracknap says, only adds to the pain that our region has been feeling over the past several decades since the war. Of course, I do not blame you for what you did. The threat has been removed, and our section of the woods is safer as a result. But it would have been nice if they had left on their own.
Much by their disposition, we found them. Eliminated any chance of that happening.
So you guys have full access to Thorngrip. There's goblins that have weapons and armor, and elixir, and bombs, and talismans, which are really just runes on petrified bark. And there's a goblin that'll pickle anything, and of course, common and magical items up to level 3, alchemical stuff, and talismans up to 4. But yeah, barter only. That being said, they will, if there's chains left over or things that you need, they will give you essentially trade goods that have a value equivalent to gold. They just don't give you gold itself. They'll give you like gemstones or something. Anything you guys need to buy or sell here in the
So
village?
this is a goblin centric area, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
At least Thorngrip is,
So-
yeah.
So would I assume? Would it be safe to assume that it would not be appropriate for me to buy horse barding here?
They probably don't use horses here, yeah, but I mean, it's common enough that they might have traded with people for it, so you could still do that.
Okay. I am way ahead of everybody else on treasure. Heavy barding would be 25 gold. Would anybody mind if I got that for the horse so that it might not die sooner?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I might. I don't know if anybody else is actually going to use Bracknap's pendant, so I was going to grab that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't use occultism much.
Yeah, it's not really my thing.
I'm not trained in
I was
it.
going
So.
to more so for the access to the one action guidance because I don't have a lot of one action. Well, I did get Doctor's Visitation, but sometimes I don't need to move anywhere and I just cast a spell. And
I was
Mhm.
assuming that it would go to you or Nate anyway, and that's a good point because Nate will hardly ever have an extra action to spare for that.
Oh, God, yeah, yeah. Although his action economy might be different now. I don't know about the.
It changes
well,
a
if you do
little
want
bit.
it, I can take it over.
No, I'm all for you getting it. Go for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't have anything particular I'm looking to buy. I mean, I'll take a quick look through the stuff, but other than maybe like is it the Heartstones that give you like a little extra ability? You're picking up one of those.
Are you talking about another spell?
Spell hearts, that's what they're called.
Spell hearts, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one equipped, and they're nice just to get a little bit of resistance, access to another spell. I guess the Crying Angel pendant. If nobody, that's a talisman. So that is.
Yeah, it's a one-use thing.
I'll probably be the one using that, if anything.
Oh, okay, go for it. I was actually gonna just sell it since I didn't figure it was worth the gold, but that's fine. I got. Go for it.
It's not that important, so if you need the gold, we can sell it.
No, we don't need it. I would just figured we were never gonna use it. So.
What does it have to be equipped to? I assume this gets equipped to look at the healer's kit itself.
Here, I'll sell. We probably don't need a climbing bolt, right? So I'll sell one climbing bolt as 15, and I'll throw the halberds and the Morning Star out for trade.
Oh yeah, we have all the weapons and equipment to throw out.
All right, I have rid us of 25 gold, and I will now add the heavy barding to the horse. Thank you.
There you go.
I know there's something that I'm forgetting that I know either I wanted or I know that someone had wanted that hasn't been mentioned something yet. I'm trying to remember what it is. Man,
Couldn't tell you.
yeah. You can look at it.
Gotta make copious notes.
Oh,
Oh well, then I won't be able to listen then. Because I can't. I unfortunately don't have the ability to write and listen at the same time.
I did not see my staff. Oh, is my staff not prepared?
Is-
Yeah, the staff wasn't prepared. Okay, that makes sense.
That would do it. Yeah, that's another thing I could do. I can advance the day because I imagine you stay here overnight.
Yeah, I see no reason for
yeah.
us to do that.
Okay, then I'll
Well,
advance to the 6th, and you guys can do your daily preparations, fix your spells up. Imagine at this point, given there's not a whole lot left to do in Chitterwood, given this entire sort of mystery of the Hell Knight has been dealt with, and you guys have already visited all the sort of assigned stations that you were given all the way back in Chapter 2, that all there is left to do is to head back to Saringallow and kind of deliver a report as to how everything's going so far, which would take you 3 days if you were to head back there.
Yeah, that sounds good. I would try to kind of spread the word, and they're still kind of because we were kind of trying to not propagandize, but essentially propagandize, right? In the region.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
absolutely spread the word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
wanna do that.
I had a thought before. So I wasn't here for the session where we went to. There's the Goblin town that was just outside of the woods. So my idea was that Mid would try to kind of set them up to possibly foster relations with that town as a way to kind of get
Yeah.
introduced to the rest of the region outside of Chitterwood.
Stump Field, that one.
Yeah, I physically the player was not here for that session. I think.
Right.
Yeah, that one's a mix of goblins and human artists that's set up like a
They were craftsmen, yeah.
And
they have
did
like
you
a
ever meet
commune
up?
in a old stump field, essentially.
Did you ever meet up with that person that told us to send a word to you when you were gone?
I don't remember doing that.
If you
She
take a look
never
at the
presented herself
journals,
again.
if you take a look at the journals, I've tried to keep pretty tight track of every
No,
session.
I do. I remember the instance that there was somebody I was supposed to meet. I don't remember actually meeting that person. That wasn't. I remember asking the question of whether or not that was Win from the first session.
Yeah,
I
tell the
believe you said it was
Phoenix.
not.
Tell the Phoenix I am in Saringallow.
Yeah, my note was half-elven woman gave Urk a folded paper crane and said she was in Saringallow. I think that's the same thing, right?
Was that Win? Maybe that.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I wouldn't know if that was Win. Not without confirming. We haven't been back to Saringallow, so
Yeah, we haven't been back.
we'll have to. But we'll have to make a mental note to check on that.
All right. Well, so we have that, but then also, yeah, we should probably get back to whatever the hell their names were, Etherin and Mare and Rogue Crag and Dara, those guys, whatever we call them, other than just the Hellbreakers. It's the Hellbreakers League. That's what we would call them, right? So yeah, we should probably
Yeah, so
get back there.
Yeah, they're lieutenants in the Hellbreakers League. Yep. All right, then I imagine if everybody's done with their shopping, then you begin to make your way. As you begin to leave out of Chitterwood, Zagnub will take you out at first light rather than at dusk, and Thorngroup does all its business in the morning, so anything that you guys would need before you finally leave is able to be gotten. And
was to swap out a scroll.
what's that?
I remembered what it was. It was to swap out a scroll because we had the scrolls that, and one of them we didn't need it in the end. So
Oh, is there a scroll you guys want to trade?
yeah, it was just the infused vitality. I'll swap that out with just an extra scroll of helpful steps.
Sure. And so you leave Thorngrip, and you walk about 3 hours. The goblins peel off in ones and twos, without saying anything, as your escort that follows you out of town, just to make sure you kind of get out of Chitterwood safe begins to dwindle, which is I think just how they do it. Until at some point you look back and it's only Zagnub following you, and then seemingly out of nowhere, you look back again, and there isn't even Zagnub anymore. And the forest changes underneath you as you travel. 1 minute you're under the old growth, like big trunks that you couldn't even get your arms around. Canopy shut tight overhead, but then you cross a line somewhere, and suddenly it's bright. Everything around you thins quite a bit. Trees no thicker than your wrist, all packed shoulder to shoulder, and the lights coming down through them sideways in the dawn in a way that you haven't seen in a couple days now. And you occasionally can hear the crunch under your boots of charcoal, which still, 25 years on, has worked down into the soil in a layer. And this is kind of the edge where the Goblin Blood Wars stopped, where people like, stood here and set fire to everything west and let it burn. And everything you're walking through now is kind of new growth. And so everything's kind of at the same age. And it goes on like that for the better part of a mile. And then the trees give out entirely, and you are treated once again to the rains of Isgur.
Hey,
Yeah.
rain!
Missed it.
Here comes.
It opens up
rain.
into seemingly endless farmland down into the valleys, and flat brown harvested hedgerows. There's cart tracks heading east and west, and you even see a farmer kind of out working his field, and just sees a bunch of people kind of coming out of Chitterwood, and maybe thinks better of hailing you. But the trip to Saringallow is expected to be 3 days. And I suppose you head straight there. Yeah.
I don't think there's anywhere we
Yes.
need to stop.
Yeah.
Unless we wanted to stop by those mercenaries that took up Wolf Point, I believe it was.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, we should totally say hi to them. And
See
then
maybe they have
also,
some info.
yeah, then also Saringallow, the crane lady.
Let's see. Here we go. All right. So yeah, 3 days of travel is what's expected, and just for brevity, we'll say that it is pretty uneventful. I mean, by design, is pretty uneventful. So I'll event 3 days. 1, 2, 3. And you come home at last. You come in through, I guess, the northeastern gates in the late afternoon, and Saringallow kind of goes on without you. Nobody really seems to care that you're back at the gates or anything like that. I mean, there's a guard that probably just kind of nods their head as you bring your horse and your cart, if you have one, in. Let's go back to Saringallow. Here we are.
Probably better that no one's making great note of us.
Yeah, no one really pays you too much mind. There's, I mean, it's probably honestly a relief. It's laundry day somewhere up, in the high second-story streets, even though the rain is drizzling in the afternoon. There's a fight happening a couple streets over about some kind of debt or something, and you get the smell of sort of roasted food coming out of a barrow, and it smells probably better than it is, but you can make your way down the cart tracks and streets to the east side of town to the unassuming 2-story house that leads you back to the Hellbreakers headquarters.
Hmm.
And you're stood in front of it once again.
How long has it been since we left? It's like 2 weeks or so, right? Or is it, probably longer. based on
Probably
travel.
long. I think it's been longer than that. I mean, with the time that we spent in the different locations and solving the problems there.
It's definitely been a hot minute, that's for sure.
All right, well, let's go in and see if they've recruited anyone new since we left.
All right,
Is
and I
there
imagine
like
you.
secret
sorry.
password. Wasn't there a password or anything? Or we had the
There was
knock?
like a secret knock, yeah.
Yeah, so we do the knock.
Okay. You do your knock, and you can hear Marin's voice on the other side. You just say that you're friends of the Rose, and she opens the door very quickly. The answer comes very fast. She was probably already standing there waiting. And she gets about halfway through her response, which is like, any friends of the Rose? And then she just stops and looks at all of you. And she immediately yells back down behind her, down the staircase, and says, they're back! All of them, they're all back! And she comes back to you. So sorry. Come in. Any friends of the Rose can find refuge here, so on and so forth. Sarah owes me 4 silver. And she opens the door wide and ushers you in.
Hey, is there
You're
any
not
way that I
supposed to
could get on
offer
that
that.
bet next time? Although
You
the
run a bet
odds.
pool against yourself.
Oh, no, I have a live pool. I'll bet on her survival every time. The problem is it won't be paying out much longer, considering that I don't expect us to drop anytime soon.
Well, I, of course, expected you all to come back safe and sound. And it seems that you met up with our reinforcements as well. Even better.
Yeah, technically he did join us halfway through.
I think they kind of sent him over to back you guys up. So she lets you in, and you head down the stairs, and the main room is the same sort of cozy area it always has been. There's a hearth on the eastern wall, big dining table, somebody's boots, and when you get down into the main room down there, you see that it's actually pretty packed. Maps of Isgr on every wall, tables shoved together and buried under documents and ledgers and even more maps. And there's 2 young Hellbreakers kind of sparring in the side room. They stop sparring the second you come down the steps, and Ethern's down there off to one side with his sleeve pinned up, kind of speaking to the 2 young Hellbreakers and kind of correcting their grip. And Zara in the alcove by the magically heated sort of stove in the back is there as well, which again is magically heated specifically so nothing comes out of a chimney of a house that's supposed to be just like sitting empty half the year. And she pulls this pan out with a rag around the handle and says, without even turning around to look at you, "If that's them, I need 4 minutes." But it takes you about that time to get across the room. There's so many people packed down here that it's shoulder to shoulder, and finally some people kind of clear out some space for you guys to sit down, given you're dripping and sopping wet and have been on the road for the last 3 days. You don't see Rockrag anywhere just yet.
Yeah, Min will go through and start removing the water from everyone, or drawing out all the moisture. Oh, everybody nice. It's a great travel
Oh,
camp.
thank you.
That's the main reason I took it. It's so fun.
Forgot that you could do that, yeah.
Damn.
Absolutely.
In
That's
the
just like
list
a
of
page
utility
C.
spells, that's one of the more useful ones, and when it comes to comfort, I imagine.
Well, yeah, when you're traveling the road by yourself, that's invaluable.
If you're traveling Isgard these days or weeks.
Yeah, I mean, traveling anywhere. That's the one thing Min did research on: the weather patterns.
Yeah.
No.
So you take some time to all dry off, and of course, Zara will come with some of her famous sort of croissants and bread rolls and sticky buns and whatnot, and hands them all over to you and makes sure you guys are well fed. And you see Gertrude, the halfling that you guys helped the young recruit that was tied up in the
in the
warehouse is there as well. She's still a bit raw about what happened in the warehouse, and comes and kind of attaches herself to the side of you and says, "So, what was the journey like? Tell me all about Chitterwood.
It
Oh,
was wet.
Hmm.
Well, at
She
least there
like
was a
nods.
canopy over us, so it may have been wet, but not like what we see out here in the city.
Oh, how horrible. I much prefer the farmlands on days when it's drier. I think I'll stay local.
Well, I'll tell you, and I reach over and grab a handful of her sticky buns. This is the reason why I came back.
Whoa, HR might be around. We're in the base here, guy.
That's why her character has a smile.
I've tried that as a defense before. It did not work out too well.
The mayor will come, and once she's cleared a spot where she can actually sit down to talk to you all, she says, a brief on everything that's happened so far, and then, my job is recruitment, of course, and so if you could all tell me maybe a highlight that you had in your assignment, something, maybe a favorite moment or something that stood out to you, that will work very well for the narrative epic that I'm building for the Milanites going forward. So basically, she kind of accepts. You don't have to rehash the whole thing, but if you tell her everything that happened in the countryside and the bandit company that you met and the deal with the orphanage and Hell Knight Ahala and having to head to Chitterwood and of course the convent that you guys got to go up to in the mountain. Pretty much everything that happened since you left Saringallow. You give her the brief of it, and she marks it all down. But then she goes across to each of you and asks maybe what a dramatic or favorite moment that you had in your assignment was. And if anybody wants to volunteer something first, by all means.
Peaceful goblins. Would you ever think you would see that?
Peaceful goblins.
Yeah, a whole tribe. Quite
oh,
interesting.
you said peaceful. I thought you said useful goblins. I was like, damn, man. So brutal.
Well, I mean, on top of that, they were useful as well.
This is the thorn grip goblins you're speaking of?
Yeah, the thorn grips. They were quite pleasant to deal with.
We'll have to
I
send
mean, they had
contact
their
over
own
sometime.
troubles, so it was. We found a way to help them, but it wasn't too bad. I wouldn't have normally would have stayed in a goblin village, but they were pretty good in their leadership as well. I much enjoyed their leadership.
So there was one time on this entire journey that it stopped raining, and wouldn't you know it, that a goblin caught fire in that 10 seconds without rain.
Well, very well. I'll mark down that clear skies are a portent of fire. Something to watch for in the future, I suppose.
Yes, if it ever stops raining, make sure you have a fire extinguisher handy.
What about you, Mindy? Was there anything that stood out to you about the journey?
Well, the main thing that comes to mind is when Corvo had come to assist us at the orphanage and the affairs there was something I've not quite experienced before. At least not at that scale. A whole haunted house, actually.
My favorite part was where he tried to explode the orphanage.
Oh yeah, Min's gonna leave out the part where they threw a grenade through the window.
Oh, I am not. I am going to chime in with that.
Just like Min will try not to embellish the fact that she got turned into a rock by a blast.
Yeah, I did think about that and left it out on purpose.
We skip some of the some of the details don't make it to the history.
A lot of the ones Liam thinks some of it are like, huh? I don't know.
What?
So I write it down.
The player here has a question. What happened to the dog we got?
Yes,
I
the
imagine it's
dog.
traveling with you, right?
Yeah.
Do we still have
Yeah,
it with us? Where is it specifically? Is it just following us, or do we have it in like a backpack?
No, I need a week of downtime to switch companions, so I haven't switched yet.
Okay.
Oh, that's what
I
it was.
saw it in the notes, and I'm like, I couldn't remember what we ended up doing.
Yeah, I had no idea.
There's this for the animal companion. So yeah, you could spend some time to turn it into one.
And we have
Yeah,
effectively
agreed.
taken 4 days because we spent the night at the goblin place, and then it took us 3 days to walk here. So we're over halfway to a
Yeah.
week now.
That's true.
Imagine if we need to spend the downtime in town to prep for whatever our next mission is. I mean, Min's definitely going to want to get around town and pick up news and rumors and so forth.
Well, and this might surprise some of you, but Varen wants to go shopping, selling all this stuff mostly, but make a good gold split so we can rearm, re-equip.
Of course.
Well, she'll take all these moments down. Did you give one, Liam, that was a favorite moment of yours?
Oh, shoot. Are you convincing the bandits to join?
Yeah. When you first went to that like watchtower.
Yeah.
All right, she'll mark that down. It's amazing how even some of the outlaws in the region are just so fed up with the hellish oppression that House Throne is sending this far into the region that they're even willing to join up with us to kick them out. Honest banditries, I suppose.
I will
They haven't
say
quite
there was
spread to
much.
towns
There
like
was quite a
Elidir.
bit of goodwill toward us. We seem to have turned quite a few in our direction that we could possibly call on when in need.
And what about Stormcrow? Did you have a moment that really stood out to you?
I mean, I suppose failing to make my way with the tracking that stood out. I suppose, yeah, not much else at the moment.
Wasn't filling the
The-
boss room
yeah,
with giant vines.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The big old plant thing was fun.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So she marks all that stuff down. And you see, Mayor kind of tells you that the countryside work that you guys have been doing, as far as they know, is working. They've had some word while you guys were gallivanting out in the forest that the people in Stumpfield and Umok are they have a positive opinion of the Hellbreakers now. But news out of the capital has been pretty bad for 3 weeks. And people aren't really she hasn't been really briefed on exactly what kind of bad, but it seems that attention might need to be shifted towards the north a little bit, which is where Phoebe and Alceo have been sort of sent to directly work on things that are going on in Elidir and so on and so forth. And she says, well, from the story you've told me, I'll have to do some editorializing a little bit, but if you understand by the time that this story reaches Logus, well, I'm sure one of you will have fought this Hell Knight on top of a collapsing, towering altar or something like that. I'm sure everyone will be quite happy to hear about the work that you all have been doing.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get that dramatic, but we'll see what comes up.
Oh, the most dramatic tales are often the best. Ithrin comes over and gives you all a nod. The Eagle Knight is seemingly now some kind of like martial teacher for the young Hell Knights that are coming in, and says, you came back with all of your people, and if you ask me, that's the only sort of statistic that really matters. Well done. I look forward to seeing your work in the future. He kind of raises a glass to you with his one good hand. And Mare tells you that Rockreg will be happy to hear about how you've done as well. He's upstairs right now, she says. He got a letter from the leaders of the Hellbreakers and has been kind of discussing some things with some of his confidants up there, and I'm sure we'll be down soon. But while you're waiting, feel free to grab some food and drink and take a load off. Obviously, you've been on the road for 3 days now. And so you have some time to, if you would like, kind of look around the room. There's like maps everywhere. Things have kind of changed in the 2 weeks that you guys have been gone. Of course, you guys, have the opportunity to discuss things with the new Hellbreakers that have been either recalled from other regions or seem to be new recruits. Maybe ask them what's going on. So there's an opportunity to gather information there as well. Or you can just kind of like chill it for a couple hours and kind of see what happens. Or even step outside and go shopping for a bit and come back later. What is it you all do once you finally have a chance to relax for a minute?
I think Min
Kinda
will try to.
Pierce is going to
Go
hang
ahead.
out with the other Hellbreakers and try to figure out what's been going on around town, if there's any new activities, or just kind of get the lowdown on what's going on in town and with the Hellbreakers of late since we've been gone.
Sure. There's a lot of people to talk to, and not everybody has useful information. So if you want, you can do gather information.
I sure will. I'm looking for where that was.
On the, I think it's in the basic macros for
Y-
now.
Yeah, basic action macro,
Exploration.
and then it's under exploration.
Wait until after your roll, but Min's gonna do the same thing, but specifically trying to get details of the new ones coming in from out of town, and like maybe what rumors there are in the surrounding regions rather than the immediate one.
Sure, you can gather information as well if you like.
Oh, just so that's supposed to be a private roll or public?
Yeah, because you're not sure if you've heard everything that there is to hear.
I believe
Blind GM roll is what it should be.
Yeah, I
Hold
can't find it for
control.
nothing.
You can just
Oh,
do
found it.
a
I
blind
found it.
diplomacy
found it.
check. Okay. Okay, so Nateris, you go around and you hear a lot of rumors about kind of like things that are happening around Saringallow, but it doesn't really sound like anything that would particularly interest you. Just like businesses that are closing down or new ones that are opening up, or how recruitment's been going. Some new recruits tell you kind of what they've been doing around the city, but it all seems very sort of a bit civil and a bit below kind of your interest level right now. But Min, you do get some useful information out of 2 Hellbreakers that have been with the outfit for quite some time. They got recalled from the field by Rockrag this week, but they don't know why. All they know is that there's trouble in the capital, and there's rumors about how Headvend is tightening his grip in the capital, and they think they might get sent out that way.
A lot of news at the capital.
You also notice something else. 3 of the map pins on the major sort of table map of Isger, I guess the wall map, have been moved recently. And all of the pins are clustered around Elidir. One of them has been hammered into the wall so hard that it's cracked the plaster behind it, actually. It's like flaked out on the ground underneath.
Do I know what these pins represent?
A pin got moved for you guys to designate that your outfit was being sort of assigned to Southern Isger. So maybe it's just other assigned sort of outfits that have been sent towards the capital, or maybe they plan to send more people. But it seems there's a lot of focus on it right now.
Very odd that they'd be angry about hammering that in. Something may have happened.
So a while into the evening, the noise upstairs, you can hear like some stomping. And then Rockrag begins to come down the stairs. And he's got a folded sheet of paper in one hand, which he doesn't seem interested in putting down at any point in any conversation, but he kind of clears the far end of the table with his forearm. And he sweeps all the ledgers off of it, which for the, Rockrag never really shouts, so for him, this is about as angry as he gets. And then he squares the letter up on the wood in front of him, very carefully, like lines the corners to the table edge, and then he just kind of drums his fingers on the table and stares down at the letter. And after about 4 seconds, people in the room start to get the hint and quiet down. And he just says, "Everyone out, except for a returning Hellbreakers, not you six." And everybody starts to filter out. Mare is the last to go. What's that?
That room upstairs? I'm just imagining like 30 people filtering out of the house.
Yeah, well, there's like a living space
Yeah.
and stuff upstairs. Yeah, I think it's a 2-story building. It's just you guys kind of your meeting holes in the basement. But yeah, people slowly start to filter out, and Mare is the last one to go. She kind of gives Rockrag a look, and Rockrag just continues staring down at the letter. And he waits until the iron door at the top of the stairs, has been shut and locked. And then he pulls a second chair over with his boot and sits down across from you. Which I want to flag because in the entire time you've known him, Rockrag has never sat down to speak to you at all. He says, here, let me pull up Rockrag,
What's
our old friend that you rescued.
What's got
That version of his picture.
what's got your mind in a tiff?
Well, I have something new for you all. While we've been working here, Alceo and Phoebe Demetrias have been trying to stir up the capital. But they've run into some serious trouble. I'm afraid the authorities have figured out who they are, and they can no longer operate within the city. And he turns the letter around so it's facing you, and he says, they've asked me to send a few Hellbreakers I trust to get things done. You've obviously shown your skill and smarts in the last few months, but I'm afraid we need you again, this time in Elidir. Phoebe says the army is on high alert. Out here in the hinterlands, they mostly ignore us. We're just a rural nuisance. Somebody else's problem, but that is not the situation in the capital. They keep a tight grip on Elidir and the whole of the Canerica Straits because, well, the Straits are the only part of this country Cheliax has ever actually wanted.
Our
I'm
agents
afraid
able to
your ability to
go.
rest longer than a couple days will have to be expedited.
Well, you
All
know
three
we're
of them
always
able
here
to
when you
escape
need
the
us.
city?
What was that?
You go ahead.
I was just saying that we're always here if you need us. Just tell us what needs to be done.
He points to the wall map where all the pins have been hammered in around Elidir. And he says, it's good that you came back because we were going to send some of the younger recruits up there, but given the difficulty of the situation, honestly, you're the only outfit that I can actually trust to get this done.
What is to be our main objective when we get up there? Are we trying to distract the other team or take over their mission?
You'll have to actually get into Elidir, first of all. Given it's the capital, it's locked down pretty heavily, so that might be a challenge in and of itself. But once you're in, you'll have to meet up with Phoebe and Alceo. They're being held at a safe house, but for informational security, we don't actually know where that safe house is. But there is a contact that we have. Over the next few days, we will arrange a meeting spot for you to meet them at, and the rest you will have to get from Alceo and Phoebe directly. Whatever you do, keep a low profile. Do not get identified as League members. Once you're inside, meet up with our contact, and hopefully Alceo and Phoebe will have someone checking up for you who can bring you to the safe house, and they will fill you in on what their plans were for the capital.
Understood.
There is another thing that was mentioned in the letter, although I don't know exactly why Alceo wrote it. Headvend is throwing a gala in 12 days.
Hmm.
A gala? Like,
Hmm.
for who?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I genuinely cannot answer anything more than that. The letter they sent me was deliberately thin.
I look around at the group.
Wait for the best.
There's not many of us that would be presentable at a gala. Maybe the captain here.
I would
Think
think that
first.
Min would be presentable as well, at least. And everybody needs guards when you're at a gala, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does depend. Mhm.
I'm not
Should
sure they'd
figure
want
out
guards
first
in
what
the
the
gala.
deal is about.
Hopefully Alceo and Phoebe
don't
can give more information, but maybe it was some hint to send along some people that had some social graces. I don't really know.
Hmm.
Regardless, it will
Well.
take 4 days for us to send a message to Elidir safely and get one in reply, so we can find out exactly where you're supposed to meet this contact, and so you have some time to prepare. Then it would be 3 days of traveling to Elidir, and that gives you 5 days until the gala once you arrive in the city.
Let's see. Would I be able to? Let me make sure I actually have this. I should have Lore Isger. I do. Would I be able to identify if there are any like events or specific like holidays they might be celebrating this gala for? That might be specific to the nobles and wouldn't necessarily be as recognized over here in Saringallow.
You absolutely could do that. Society role would be appropriate.
Okay. One society role.
And that sounds like something that Naturas would do as well.
You can roll as well if you like. Okay.
I'm sorry that I've been particularly silent. I've been feeling I had completely forgotten what skill trait I was going to take, or skill feat, and yeah,
Continual recovery, ward medic.
What did you end up
Those are-
picking?
sorry, what?
What did you end up picking?
Oh, I'm still,
Oh, you're still looking. Okay.
yeah.
No worries. So let's see. The only occasion you could think of that would make sense is that it seems to be around the 25th anniversary of the Hell Knights coming to Isger during the Goblin Blood Wars. But the announcement of the gala hasn't reached Saringallow. Like there's no official invitations that have been sent to like the Podunk country people of Saringallow. So there's nothing really to go off of, but that's your best guess.
Yeah, I would. My personal theory is that if there's some fancy noble gala, they're not going to ask anybody outside of Elidir.
Yeah.
They're going to be dicks about that.
Yeah, any more information about exactly what the gala is supposed to celebrate, you figure once you get to the capital,
Once we
it would
get
be
there,
made
yeah, we could
obvious,
probably
yeah.
ask around.
But they haven't like there aren't any like noble families here in Saringallow that really exist to get invitations. You know, even the local governance hasn't really received anything as far as they know. So something a bit more local to the city.
Well, and seeing that Alceo and Phoebe have been there, they may already have information that they can share with us.
Rockred kind of nods and he says, I'm sorry, I don't have any more information to give you. There's no names or addresses or really explanation of how the Demetriuses were burned, so to speak. But this visibly affects the Hellbreakers League and so must be handled with utmost care. If Phoebe and Alceo are captured, it would be a death blow to the Legion. He reaches under the table and hauls up this wide leather belt. It looks like it's scuffed to hell, and it's got a brass buckle worked into the shape of a hand. And he says, take this. It's League property. I expect it to return to Saringallow when you do. It will let one of you lift about 3 times what you should normally be able to, which you're going into a city where the walls are very high and the doors are locked a little tighter than they are here. They're not going to let you carry a battering ram through the gate, and so hopefully this can unlock some doors that you might otherwise not be able to do. So he offers you guys a lifting belt.
As he hands it over, Natyrus gives him a large pat on the back. You know, we wouldn't have jobs if everything was perfect, and that's why you got us here. So we're willing to step in and fix this problem.
He nods his head at that. He lets out like a whistle, and Mare comes back down about a minute later. And her and Zara have like a pot of something. They were probably listening at the door, all things considered. But Mare goes straight to the big wall map of Isger and puts her hand kind of on the northwest of it, up where the Canerica kind of comes down out of the Asphodel Mountains and spills into Elidir, and says, So, who here has actually been to the capital?
I'm sure Baron would have been to the capital several times.
Yeah, I'm sure Stormtro's been there.
How far is the capital?
Another 3 days journey. It's up here.
It's actually
I,
not
fe- I
far
feel
away.
like okay, so Liam probably would have been there. Then it's not that far away. This thing. Wait, actually, how far is it from Breach Hill? Actually, is what I meant to ask.
Oh, from Breach Hill, probably 2 days.
Oh yeah, then definitely.
I don't know if Min would have gone through the capital yet. Probably not.
She'll nod as she notices like at least 1 or 2 hands not go up, and so she says, "Right, all right, well, so everything you know about Isger, everything you learned out here," and she taps around all the countryside and the places kind of you've been to for the last 2 months. None of it is going to help you in there. Elidir is the capital. It's the biggest city in the country, which sounds impressive until you say the number out loud. It's about 12,000 people. That's really it. Cheliax has districts in their cities, bigger than our entire capital. And every single one of those 12,000 lives on the Canerica because, the river trade is the country. And it all comes down through the city, and it actually cuts the city in half. And there are river gates on both ends with sentry boats that row back and forth all day, putting inspectors on ships. Nothing flows through the city without somebody in Elidir making a ledger of it. Zara, at this point, pipes up. And here's the thing you carry with you. During the Goblin Blood Wars, Elidir was fine, I suppose. It's too far from Chitterwood. The war came out of the trees and ate Vordia, and it ate Umok, and ate all the farms in between, but Elidir sat up on the river collecting tariffs and waiting for Cheliax to send help, with which, of course it did, eventually. 25 years ago this month, in fact.
Interesting.
Rockrag says, yes, those walls. So the shape of the city, tactically speaking, is the river is in the middle, the 2 gates on the water. There's land gates on the road. Outside the walls, you've got the caravanserai, walled compounds and inns and stables and warehouses, thick with traders coming and going at all hours. Nobody looks twice at a stranger out there. But inside the walls is a different country entirely. Movement in and out has been restricted, and the army is checking the papers of anyone who tries to come in. There are 3 things you need to know the names of. The rampways. Elidir is famous for these. They're elevated causeways that let a caravan pass over and around the city without ever stopping in it. It's built so that the trade never has to actually slow down when it passes through the city. The trade house is the bureaucratic heart of the city. There's clerks and ledgers and tariffs and permits and house guards. Every piece of paper on the Canerica Straits passes through the trade house. And if you need any kind of documentation, that's where you would find it. And the last is the Gyve. The Gyve is the prison. If you learn nothing else about a leader tonight, learn this. People aren't held in the Gyve as punishment. They hold them in the Gyve until the wardens hear a confession. Everyone talks in the Gyve. They have means beyond the physical to gain the information they need. So I would be very careful about being captured. Any plans that you have, be careful that if one of you does get captured and hauled into the Gyve, that it does not give up the entire operation.
Understood.
Mayor kind of waves her hand at this. So it's also dour. You're not going to get captured, of course. Of course, there's Steward Headvend there as well. Might actually meet the man. He sits at the top of the city. He is, Cheliax's man down to the buckles. Below him, you have the elites who live in the city who've never been hungry before. And then about, below them is the 11,000 people who have been. There's a very clear sort of class system in the city. And the people in the city are not happy. So the kindling is already there for a fire to be lit. And Alceo and Phoebe have spent the better part of the last 2 months walking around and trying to set that tinderbox alive with a torch. And it has been working up till now. They have organized some protests, peaceful ones, of course, but Headbend was forced to send the army into these protests. And, of course, he called any bloodshed riots and called Alceo and Phoebe riot mongers, and there's a price on their head. And that's kind of the situation that you're walking into. It's not exactly the most pleasant place to be right now, but it's a place that we need to turn for the cause.
Okay. Min's thinking about who to go talk to continue preparing for this.
And so that's kind of the basic details of Isker. Large city, 12,000 people. It's walled. The river runs through it. You got the rampways, which are the causeways that let caravans pass by the city without actually stopping. The trade house. You got the Gaive prison. And the fact is that the Goblin Blood Wars never really got that far north, so the people there are not exactly battle hardened. And Steward Headbend the Sixth is there in his manor, Reeves Rest, and seems to be throwing a gala in 12 days' time.
So we have 12 days to wander around the city and do stuff?
No, you have 4
we'll have
days in Saringallow, then 3 days to travel to Elidir,
Get
and
there
then you
in
have the
5
remaining
days.
5. Yeah,
Okay.
to hopefully solve whatever issues they have going on before the gala takes place, if the gala is even important at all.
Well, I don't think Min has any questions at this particular meeting. At least nothing I can think of to ask.
I
Yeah.
think there's more to be learned once we get there.
Indeed, yes. There's
Yeah.
we should prepare for our trek
Well,
then.
I guess we've still got 4 days until we get return notice. A
Yeah,
return
before
letter.
you figure out where your contact is to meet them in the city, and then you can start heading out.
I would recommend we try to acquire some of those disguise rings. The ones that let us hide their weapons, I believe. I forget the actual ones.
Oh yeah, the
I don't know if Corvo
ring
ended
of
up wearing
discretion.
it. Yeah, I think so.
Liam also bought one as well. He got one at the Goblin Village a little while back. I think someone else got one as well, if I'm not mistaken. And just to double check, for I'm adding in the gold. It's 51 gold, 7 silver, and 8 copper for the point.
Yeah, that is correct. I forgot to
Appreciate
add the
it.
15 gold that we had in the treasury thing, but unless anybody needs that, I'll just leave it till the next loot split.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not too.
There's one more thing that you guys should be aware of for the chapter coming up, which is I suppose I'll just kind of lay out exactly how it works. So there is a subsystem that they have in here which is the here is it? Here it is. I'll bring us to this map just real briefly so you can see where it is. It's just tracked here like everywhere else. It's an uprising system, so it's just this little tracker here. You should be able to see like a blue and a red number on it, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I see the little 13 there too.
Yeah, so from the moment you guys go into Elidir, you're going to be tracking 2 numbers. They go up independently, so neither one kind of reduces the other, but they do sort of complement each other. So the first one is uprising points, which is how much of the city is on your side. And the other one is suppression points, which is how much the army's attention is on you. So, you know, the uprising points, each benefit is usable once per person, and really only somewhere where popular support could plausibly matter, like the streets of the market or the prisons or something, like not really inside like Headbands Manor or anything like that. But basically, when uprising points go up, you get bonuses to like skill checks and perception checks after you roll. If it gets higher, you get bonuses to attack rolls or saving throws. Even higher than that, you get re-rolls. And even higher than that, you get roll twice, take the better. Suppression points, the thresholds similarly are cumulative. They drop back off if your total kind of falls below threshold, but the first one is like out of combat, your DCs would go up for any checks involving another humanoid. Like social checks are harder. The next threshold, people start to get paranoid, so at the there's sort of influence subsystems that get harder. After that, there's like the guards might do some crackdowns in the streets, and there's like flat checks to see if you guys get sort of checked by guards every now and then. And the highest form of oppression that you can get, or suppression you can get, is martial law gets declared, which probably isn't great.
Fair enough.
No, that wouldn't be.
Doesn't really get much beyond that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about what puts it up and what puts it down, but point is, when I mention uprising points, those are good, suppression points are bad. It's just things that, you know, the city's helping you or the city has taken notice of you and the guards are kind of after you kind of thing.
Yeah, I figure if we do a
Got
really
it.
bad job of hiding our intentions, the military is going to be like, well, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much it. You know, the final vision of Isger should be molded by its people, and your job is to kind of enable them to have that choice without people in power forcing them. And so, as you guys make changes throughout the region, those get kind of reflected in the city. Your reputation also carries forward and will help you in different spots, but that's pretty much it for the meeting. They don't really have anything else to say beyond that. They just have 4 days to give you to make preparations here, and then hopefully their little magical messenger will come back and be able to give you some direction of where to go in the city.
Okay. I'm just writing a separate notepad so I don't forget the like 4 different things I'm trying to do next. Like I said, anybody else have any questions for these two before we go on to our 4 days of preparations?
No, I don't have anything else I need to ask him. I think we just need to get ourselves ready to head north.
I'm just shopping for clothes for a gala. I'm not bothered with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I guess a 5th thing. I can ask this now to them. Are there any active agents on the way over, or are there any like potential risks that we should be aware of heading in that direction? Like, are there outposts on the way there that we'll have to like be wary of, or if there's any known incidents in the last weeks?
None more than you would normally have to face from people who are
Okay.
traveling and might want to turn you in for the bounty, which is still active, by the way.
Yeah, I
to think
was
of
going to
that
mention
doesn't-
that when they said they had a bounty on the other two in the city. I'm like, that was already kind of there, so I guess it's just.
Well, I'm sure the bounty for them is
Sure.
significantly more expensive, given they're the leaders of the Hellbreakers, right? So
Fair enough.
Are there any difficulties getting inside the city itself?
yes,
I mean, if they're
everybody's
looking,
The-
documentation is checked as you go inside, so you're going to need to find a way
so
to
we're
get
gonna
around
need
that.
to.
Oh,
We're
right,
gonna
because
need
you
to
said that
forge.
there's the trade house where we can get the documentation. Isn't that in the city?
It is in the city.
That doesn't get us into the city,
Okay.
Well, if
so we're
only
gonna
we
need
had-
something ahead of time.
If only we had a military scout that we could trust to get inside the city on his own.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, the question at that point is whether you would be able to get documentation for 5 people or 6
I
people
mean, it's
or
not
whatever.
like they're going to take our photos or anything, so.
Yeah, I mean, people smuggle things in and out of the city all the time. There might be other ways to get in, but until you're actually up against it, it's kind of hard to tell. But there's people from the city that travel through Saringallow, so I imagine there might be in those 4 days a way to kind of gain access to some kind of travel document and kind of look exactly how they're formed, and there might be some opportunity to like forge them or make up your own.
Yeah, it's
Well, aside from the prep, Min did want to check in on 2 people, at least. I'm curious, whatever happened with the Captain Aiden that we left at the inn all that time
Oh, yeah.
ago?
yeah.
Did he make anything of himself? And this isn't directed at the 2 NPCs here, but like, if I talk to the other Hellbreakers, do they know? I forget who was keeping watch over him.
Yeah, I imagine he actually ended up joining the league.
Wheels
And, like, he's got, like
Demetrias.
some small outfit that's gone south into the countryside to kind of follow up on your work.
Awesome.
Yeah, we never quite found him a ship, did we? We sunk
Wow.
it.
Yeah, we
Well,
forgot about
there's still time. The promise is still open.
So, on getting into the city itself, I don't imagine a group of, what is there, 5 of us?
6.
6 would
There would be
be very, might be, we may need to come up with stories or something to make our way in. But I guess we need to find what the papers look like to begin with, but I don't see us all going in together. Maybe a couple smaller groups.
So
That's
what I
weird.
was thinking, because I had noted down there's the Witch's End Tavern in town, which is a very conservative crowd, who might have people that were interested in going to the capital, potentially going to the gala. So what I was thinking Min would do is go over there, schmooze with them, and see if who's going to the gala, and kind of if it's something that would make sense. Trying to sell the idea of like, oh well, I'm a traveler from Goka, the exotic visitor. Maybe I can find a way to get in, or maybe we join another party that's going in. I'm like, you guys are my guards, and this other Hell Knight's going into the gala, and I'm going with them, kind of thing.
You did give
I
me an
don't know
idea,
how
though.
far we could progress with that, but that's the basics of it.
Well, I'm curious because my background story is kind of like I lived in the alleyways and everything, and was kind of like the underground around Elidir growing up. Would I have any knowledge of like back ways in or ways that are less desirable to get into the city?
There might be a way to get in through the river pass, but with Headven kind of cracking down on trade in the Hellbreakers, and I mean, especially now that he seems to understand that the Hellbreakers are in his own city, those holes might be patched up pretty quickly.
Okay.
I have a question. Are there any notable like carriers that would have people that would have these documents that, like, say for instance, I don't know, like a merchants guild that is known to do trade that is supporters of Cheliax that we could just kind of to hop on the idea of going to the supporters tavern and maybe seeing if we can lift off the copy of someone else's documents there, and maybe even see about if we could forge them, or if we know anyone that could forge the documents. Just a few ideas.
Well, so let me. First of all, is there a bounty specifically on our heads, or just Hellbreakers in general?
Hellbreakers in
I think
general,
so.
and then the leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so nobody knows then, at least nobody that matters, that Baron is a Hellbreaker. Could I just go as the noble of the Ashmark family? I mean, wouldn't I even have documents
Huh.
if they were required?
That
You might be able to reasonably get yourself in, but you might still have to provide documentation for your entourage or your cohorts.
And we're talking about
Yeah,
documents
your
to get
background would
into
make
the
it
city, right?
easy to get into the city. Yeah, this is just for getting
Yeah.
into the city.
Yeah.
Would Varen have family in the city? Where would your
So in the backstory, it is they have their own estate called Imberhold, and I don't know that we ever place it on the map because it's not an actual place. But I would assume they would be out kind of in the country somewhere, but close enough to a relatively major city where they could trade without having to go way the hell out of their way.
okay? Potentially not someone inside that we could message and be like, "Hey, we need to get in," and they could help provide documentation.
Well, so potentially they would have allies in every major city. So yeah, I could probably walk in and find somebody, but also keep in mind that Varen is like the black sheep. So while I could get in, um, I would assume that all of the rest of my family, at least the leaders of it, are kind of on the up and up. And while they might not want Chiliacs to be in charge of stuff, they act like they do because it's beneficial for them. So I don't think I would be able to trust any of their allies with the truth necessarily. Now, just
Yeah,
saying, hey, I've got
Mhm.
some of my soldiers. We wanted to come in the city for a couple of weeks on some leave. Like I might could do something like that, maybe.
That's a good plan to leverage. We've got a couple good options.
In
We could
fact, the
also try
only
to see if there's any. I mean, the nice simple one would be if there's like any like caravans that are going to Cheliax to trade. Maybe we can catch one and be like, "Hey, we want to be guards. Can you give us a job?"
that's a good
That's not
point.
right.
So that is what my family does. Is we are traders with caravans and stuff. So we could easily just throw the Ashmark house symbol up on this horse and wagon we have. Throw a couple of our items up like they're part of the network, and then I could just say you're the caravan guards.
Yeah, the problem is getting the right documentation because being hired as
Yeah.
guards by a merchant caravan, that we basically utilize their documentation. They say, "Oh, they're with us." And maybe depending how the documentation works, that can work in our favor. It does depend what exactly they're looking for.
So I
Well,
would imagine that Saringallow trades with Elidir. So couldn't we look into what trades that direction
Yeah.
in the paperwork that way?
So yeah, how about you guys spend some time investigating the merchant route? Min
Yeah.
can go try to schmooze up any of the Hell Knights in town and just try to get more information on if they're going, maybe worst case we work with them to get in, or
well,
just to get information on like what maybe the gala is or what else might be going on we don't know.
so actually, even piggybacking off of that and combining the ideas, I am certain Varen, as a military commander, has been on caravan guards plenty of times. Have been the leader of a caravan guard at some point. I will have seen these documents could I just use my memory of what they looked like to have either myself or probably Neteris is better to forge some documents?
Yeah, you could forge them based on documents you've seen in the past.
Cool.
Nice.
I think that's
think
the
You'd
we-
still
easy
need
way.
to obviously make up the documents and make them convincing.
Yeah, I mean, I think
We'll just want to be
Neteris.
extra careful with those.
I think Neteris would have a better skill at it, but we could work together. I could aid him,
Mhm.
and then
And I
have
don't
him.
imagine.
Oh,
Yeah, your
Each other.
mic
his
was.
mic died.
The weather got him. The basement's flooding. Everyone out.
Bob, you want to try that again? Because you started out good.
I don't imagine that they've got ways of sharing forms. Anyhow, they probably have a standard, and just look, or they just probably whatever they take, and then a standard mark or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we
I
could-
think that's a good idea.
It'd probably only take you a few hours to make something like that, right? So
It's something for the group, and of course, probably just since we'd be considered all one group, it'd probably be all one paper.
Yep.
But again, we could do that from your knowledge,
yeah, let's do
whether
it.
we need the individual papers or rights of that they're working or conscripts that they're working. So
So I'm assuming that would be a society role to forge some documents.
Yes. Let's see. Is there like a kit that you need for this or something, or is just create a forgery, right? You just need writing materials, which I imagine you can find. Create a forgery. It's a secret society check
Yeah, requirements.
as a
You
downtime
provide
activity.
the proper writing materials for your forgery. So that's just
Yeah, this wouldn't have it would have like a trade seal on it, but that'd be part of the forging.
yeah. You create a forged document
I'll-
usually over the course of a day or a week.
All right, so we spend the time where he's just kind of describing it to me. I'll purchase the materials for it.
Okay, so you guys can spend a day doing that.
Otherwise, you need only. Okay, so it says if you need to forge a specific person's handwriting, you need a sample. Otherwise, you just need to have seen a similar document and you gain a +4 circumstance bonus on the check. But well, I mean, I would assume Neteris had seen one also, even though he wouldn't have been in charge of them.
Well, I work for you, so
Right. Which means I don't even need to aid you because you're already going to get a +4 circumstance bonus, so it wouldn't stack.
Yeah, there you go.
all right.
Okay, so you can do that for a day. Will, what do you want Liam to be doing for a day of downtime?
You'd probably do a little bit of preaching.
A little bit of preaching. You want to earn some income with that? Make some money?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Why not? Hearts and minds and a little cold hard cash doesn't hurt.
Pigman's first priority is going to go over to the Witch's End Tavern and try to get that information.
About when or
not about when. I think, at least for now,
at least the person
figure-
who delivered something from when?
yeah, getting information about our next plan is a little more important because if we need those extra few days to prepare based on what I learned, then I would want to do this first.
Okay, that won't take the whole day downtime. It only takes like an hour or two, so you can do multiple
Okay.
investigations in the same day if you want. But you can do that one first. What are you trying to ask
So-
about and learn?
I would like to get information on the gala, see if there are any Hell Knights specifically that are going and possibly involved in celebration or know people going. Basically, trying to get details of what is it about, and we sneak in. Well, not asking that, but formulating the plan. Can we figure out if we could get into it in some way?
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, you can do gather information.
And I am going to use one of my. Is this a new feat? I don't think this is a new feat from this level. But I am going to make a discreet inquiry and try to
Ooh.
not let them figure out exactly what we're trying to do.
Okay, so if you crit fail, it's not like people report you for this inquiry or anything.
Yeah, it makes it so if they're trying to, I guess, like counter diplomacy, they have to hit my deception DC. Let's see. So gather information is a diplomacy check.
Yes, sir.
Do Could be hold this button.
Okay. So you make your way down south to the Witch's End Tavern, and I want to say it's busy, but it's more that the crowd here never actually stopped coming. The lamps are lit inside. There's crews unloading materials in sort of the back of the building, and there's people arguing about the tally of the fish coming in or something, and I suppose you're not even the most conspicuous person inside there. And let's see, you got that. So you talk to some, I don't know, some dock worker who's in there or something, and he says, the gala. Yes, I have heard about it from my cousin. 25 years since the Hell Knights came to save us. That's the occasion that the mayor's trying to spill, anyways, or at least that's what I heard when I came from up in the capital. God save us. My mother was in Vordia in 4699, and I'd love to know what year they think they saved her in. Big house on the hill, Reeves Rest, that's the steward's place. Apparently it's supposed to be a costume affair. Everyone's coming dressed up as, devils or hell knights, which, if you ask me, are probably the same thing. But word is all the nobles are all frantic about it. Half my last run was bolts of cloth and dye, and that seems to be selling well up there these days. All the famous tailors, I hear, are turning people away for a week. Can you imagine? They're turning people away for money in Elidir.
Well, they must be getting paid quite a bit by the nobles then.
Well, everyone up there in those fancy affairs is trying to one-up one another, right? Nobody's nobody unless you're wearing a certain designer's tag, I suppose.
Great. Those types of fine clothes are 55 gold. Ugh.
Oh boy.
I haven't quite been up to the capital yet. I mean, I doubt I'll have any luck finding one of these tailors myself. But what are some of the what might be some of the more interesting ones to go look after, and that might have an opening
Interesting. What, sorry?
of the tailors.
Oh, he doesn't know any famous tailor names, but I mean,
Like,
they're all over the city.
companies and all that. Yeah, she was just trying to fish to see, like, hey, if we're investigating down the line, if we're trying to get, like, maybe in the good graces of another noble later, and we're like, oh, we'll go make sure that your clothing order for your costume is done first, kind of thing, and then go down that kind of path. That's kind of the long term. I don't think skullduggery is the right word for that, but the long term planning that Min's kind of trying to consider of what our options are for when we eventually get there.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a couple names of people that he sold equipment to, but none of them really mean anything to you. I'll bring them up later if they come up.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, you do learn that apparently it's a costumed gala. You're supposed to be like devil themed or hell themed or something. But everyone's wearing extremely expensive clothes to go there.
Sure is a good thing I got this Hell Knight armor and this Hell Knight shield, huh?
There you go. Yeah.
Well,
And of course, nobody really pays any attention to who's asking things to your discreet inquiries. So none of this
Alright.
gets reported. While you're in there, did you also want to try to ask about who might have sent this inventor that the party met on the road? This folded paper crane said it was from Half Elf or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think it necessarily this would be within. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be within limited to the tavern. I would probably be asking all around town and tracking them
Yeah, that's
down.
fine. You can gather information about that as well.
Okay. Be another diplomacy coming right up.
Oh, okay. So you meet up with a familiar face, Valera Clive, if you remember this young lady, the street smart urchin that sold you guys information about who was inside the warehouse when you first came to Saringallow.
Yeah.
All right, you'll meet up with her on Dockside Row, the urchin who kind of tipped you guys off about the Everbloom warehouse. She's still working the docks and remembers you. And she says, "Ah, hi. How you doing? How you doing?"
No, doing well, staying alive, seeing the sights. Any
Yes.
business opportunities you've been able to take advantage of since we met you?
Oh, well, money's been tight ever since Headven's been cracking down on the trade routes, but money for me has been great. More smugglers, you see.
Oh, interesting. And presumably, as smugglers, you would have ways to figure out access to the city. I've heard that you need to have special documentation to get in recently, and I've been keeping a tight control.
Oh, I guess so. I mean, I would probably just sneak in a ship or something, or under the bottom of someone's wagon. But such is the benefit of being 4 foot nothing, you know. By the way, I've been looking for you for a little bit now. I'm glad that I ran into you. There's a tall lady with a cloak with patches sewn on real nice. She has been down the East End after the bell 4 nights running now, and she sits with her feet dipped in the water like some kind of lunatic, and she is doing some weird stuff with paper, like she's folding it. Anyways, I saw her one night, and she paid me a whole silver to tell her when your lot came back through the gate. And well, business is business. I already told her, so I'm telling you too. You know, that's fair. That's business.
I appreciate the passive information.
This person really wants to see you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
could
it's
give
nice
you
to
some
have
more
an
information, but I can't remember where I saw her go.
Ooh, and it's so interesting. I have a silver piece that looks just like the one you probably got, and I'll hand her over a silver.
She takes it and doesn't even look at it, and she says, "Right, it's the dock over there that's marked for the Scourge of Belial. She sits on that end of the dock after bell every evening, sitting down with her feet in the water. Kind of hard to miss. I reckon if you go there tonight, you might see her again. At least I think it's a
Hopefully I
lady."
will. Well, if I can happen to find them, I'm sure that there could be some loose change around here that we can discover together and possibly figure things out.
Well,
Thank you.
best of luck on whatever nonsense you guys are getting up to now. Just don't involve me in it. I don't want to get arrested.
Fair enough.
Bye bye. And she heads off and kind of flicks the silver in the air as she walks.
I'll head back and I'll regroup with the rest of the party first. Assuming everyone's working on the forgery throughout the day and all the information I gathered on the gala and what to expect. I will plan to go to the docks after the bell.
All right, Stormcrow, what do you want to do for a day of downtime in Saringallow?
I probably want to dedicate it to training the new boarhound so I can switch over, and then releasing Hush back into the wild, because I got mature animal companion, so my headcanon is that now he can go and survive on his own as a aeromental bird. So yeah,
We'll just be a gust on the breeze.
Yeah.
Oh, do we know what the pet policy is for the capital?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
A bird's a little
discretion,
easier to
I
have
think.
incognito.
They don't want anyone chewing up the baseboards. No dogs allowed. Okay.
Didn't think of that.
Then yeah, you can dedicate. I imagine if you dedicate all the 4 days that you're spending here, we'll say that makes up the 10 that you would need to switch your animal companion out. So you can, if you like, go ahead and make a new animal companion sheet and drag in the boarhound and start setting that up at level 4. Okay, so Varen, you're going to do the forging. If you want to do the roll for the day, by all means.
Oh, I thought Nateris was going to do the forging.
Oh, Nateris is
I got it.
Gonna help.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the forging. I've already got it set up.
All right,
He's a
let's see it.
caster. He's better at societal
Mark
things.
down.
Don't forget your +4.
It's on there.
He did not forget. Okay, I'll put down in my notes. At the end of the day, you produce a document that, to your eyes, Varen, looks exactly like any other, sort of trade pass document that you've seen in the past. It's been a while since you've kind of laid your eyes on one and maybe never had to really scrutinize one for, the legitimacy of it before, but your best guess is that this would definitely pass.
Sweet. And yeah, I figured I'd spend my extra couple of days between shopping for the stuff that we did, helping him with the what little bit I help with the forgery, and also just setting up a cart to make it look like we are part of a caravan.
That makes
I
sense
need
to
a
me.
cart.
Okay, there we go. Just recording your forgery for later. All right. And then in the evening, I imagine you head out to the docks, Mindy?
Yes. I'll head on over and see who this mysterious person is.
All right. As evening begins to fall in Saringallow, let's take a break and then we'll come back and see who's waiting for you.
I will make sure.
Did you ever want me to do the?
Going.
What's that, Will?
Did you ever want me to do the religion?
Oh, if you're earning income, yeah,
we missed
absolutely. Do you have the macro on you, the little earn income macro?
Yep.
Yeah, you can do that.
It's 4 days. Is that what I'd put in, or one
If
day?
you want to do 4 days, that's fine. If you want to do just 1 day and see kind of what happens after that, that's fine as well.
I'll do 1 day.
Saringallow is a level 5 settlement, so you can do up to level 5.
And I should do my level, right?
You can do up to level 5. It's up to you. The DC's harder for level 5 than it is for lower levels. It's just you get more.
Okay.
All
right.
But failing or crit failing, it's pretty much just as hard. And here's what the little celebration looks like as you guys come back after things kind of calm down and people start to celebrate your coming home.
Hey.
They're having pizza.
Yeah, it appears like
Oh yeah. And they drew it in that way that how it looked like in the olden, where you can't really tell what's on it.
That guy in the back is massive.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Jesus.
They're standing on their chairs or something.
He's got some really good handlebars going on there too.
I mean, even standing on the chair, that boy is huge.
That this is also a real small crowd at the forefront, because look at these two are real small, but she's normal size.
Maybe the ones in the foreground are like halflings or something. I don't know. Either way, you get a gold for a day of preaching and proselytizing the teachings of the rose.
Excellent.
All right, so we'll set a break and we'll come back and we'll see kind of how things progress.
That's good.
I'll let's head to the docks, shall we?
Oh yeah, this was the other
Yes.
thing that I had.
It is the eastern docks. As I fly over the city.
The rain incessantly falls, as it often does. And the river tonight is just absolutely breathing. There's a sound that Saringallow makes after the bell when the stevedores have all gone and the carts have stopped and the Canerica is left to talk to those who listen to it against the pilings. The ropes all creak, and out on the black water, there's a sentry boat that has its lamp swinging. It doesn't really come into the dock, but it just kind of drifts past Saringallow and heads to the southwest. There's a woman sitting at the end of the pier. Her boots are off and her feet are over the edge. And in her hands, under the clattering of her hood blocking the rain, she seems to be folding something. There's a small lantern lit next to her that sheds light no more than a couple feet beyond her silhouette. And you can see the point of one ear that sticks out in the sort of shape of her hood. And there's road dust that's worked deep into the creases of this outfit. And she sets a finished crane down beside her at the end of a row of 4 others, each one a little more weathered from the rain than the last. And at the head of the row is a 5th one. It looks a little taller than all the other ones. And it looks like it's been folded multiple times. It's made of some older paper, and it's like weathered, and it's got some age to it. As you start to approach this one on the dock, she looks up and back, and you see in the lamplight that it is Wynn's face, and she doesn't look particularly surprised to see you. Ah, you took your time.
Yes, unfortunately, the time on the road and our encounters have slowed me down. I would have come sooner if I could, but there were unfortunately other matters that had required my attention. But at this present, you called for the Phoenix, and she has arrived. And now I would like to sit and talk and see what I can do to help you.
It's good to see you again. It seems like it has been months now since we last met outside that dusty tavern.
Yes, and the mention of the dusty, I guess actually, was she wearing boots or sandals? Say she was wearing sandals or something similar, or whatever her travel shoes are. She'll kick those off and kind of sit down and also dangle her feet in the water to join her. So I see that the cloak has seen much travel. The texture that I have experienced before.
Well, it did take a little bit of finding to follow you here to Saringallow, but you and your companions don't exactly travel quietly.
We'll chuckle a bit, and yes, that is quite true. Not entirely difficult to find, though it's something that we may need to work on in the near future. But alas, that's a problem for another day. Tell me,
She picks up the oldest crane at the head of the row, the one that's a little bit larger, and when she picks it up and offers it over to you, you recognize it's actually the one that you originally folded. She says, "This is the one you gave me." Thinking about it, I'd never really asked for it, and I had nothing to give back, but I've carried it since Breach Hill and learned exactly how you did the technique, and I thought if I sent you one, you'd understand somebody was looking for you specifically, and might have even figured out exactly who.
did have my suspicions at the time, but I wasn't entirely sure. And what Min's actually gonna do is she's going to slowly and carefully unfold the paper crane, and she's going to start refolding it into the flower, the symbol for Milani. And as she does so, she'll continue talking as well. There are many ways to find others and reach out to them, and I'm not the only one that can be contacted in such a manner. There are those that may recognize another symbol of sorts, and those may be able to provide you of either of some interest or possibly be able to provide help. Or if you would like to follow a kind of path that I was trying to show you before, perhaps you can help them. And as she finishes that, she'll have completed the new folding and will hand it back over to Win.
I'll kind of hesitate, then reach out and take it and study it very carefully, and then gives kind of an embarrassed nod. Thank you. I'm afraid I have some confessions to make. None that I was originally going to make, but after witnessing and hearing about what you and your companions do in the region, my task here in Isgur, well, I think it's different now. Win is not my real name, of course. It fits in a Talon mouth, and nobody would know me by it. But nothing else I told you was a lie. I simply didn't exactly tell you why I met with you near Breach Hill. Your
We'll just quietly listen.
parents told me that their daughter claims her fire comes from the Ruby Phoenix. It was the only useful bit of information that they actually gave me. Nobody in Isgur really even knows the word Phoenix, but every place you'd been, somebody mentioned your fiery spirit, and it was not difficult to track you down to Breach Hill. You see, I have been hired by your parents to find you.
Go on.
I want to write my report. That's the whole job. Find the daughter, write down where the daughter is, get paid, and hopefully get enough money to go somewhere warmer. And she taps the row of the 4 cranes, and she says, "These are the ones that I've written so far." You know, your mother writes the same letter every month. She only changes 2 or 3 words. I have 40 of them at this point in my coat. I've read them, of course. It's part of the job. I'm sorry about that. But she does want you to return back to Goka.
Trying to think of how Min would respond here. I think, yeah, Min's going to try just give out a big sigh, and, well, as much as I would want to read their letters, I feel like it may cause me to shirk from my duty here. I've found something, and I would like to pursue it to the end. And I would not want to be motivated to give up early. I think you should keep those reports in case something does befall me. you can deliver the news to my parents as they would want it. I
Because,
think
I do have a report that I wanted to send back to them, but I would not send it without your permission. And she like nudges the most recent crane that she had just folded tonight.
Min will pick it up and read it at that prompt.
You read a very beautifully written, at least as the calligraphy goes, report that's written in the Tien language, indecipherable to almost everyone here in Isger. It details your exploits up until you reached Breach Hill and met with the Hellbreakers League. But then it promptly says that you got into a skirmish with some bandits and unfortunately drowned in the Canerica River.
Hmm.
If I were
Well-
to send this back to Goka, the trail would end, I think. I would be paid all the same, I think.
I think Min's reaction here is, let's see, she doesn't want to destroy the report, but she doesn't want that to be what goes back to her parents. Not necessarily because it's like grim and it's just like her end. Her parents learning of her end is fine. But she wants to be whatever news goes back to be true. And if she falls here in her quest, she would want her parents to know exactly what she was doing. She wants to hold to her principles and wants people to know that she did. And having a falsified report go back just doesn't sit well with her. I think what she will do is I'm not sure how to role play that part out correctly, but she's going to express those feelings to Win. And while she does show, she's going to reform the crane into something else. I don't want to reuse the Milani symbol, but maybe like a different creature of hope, or maybe actually forming it into, instead of into a crane, like a much more complicated version of a phoenix. I think that's how she would do that.
As you speak to her, she kind of waves her hand and says, "Please, Zilan Ruan." And she gives you her real name.
Thank you, Ron. Well, I appreciate your honesty with me, and I have no qualms about you keeping tabs on what I'm doing or where I am. Truly, if my parents wanted to come out and stop me, then I would face them as they would come. But right now, until they decide to follow that path, I will continue upon my own.
As you say, then. But I should give you some warning. Your family, as you well know, is wealthy enough to send more. Of course, they won't sell Hell Knights or anything like that. They're silk merchants, but they will send more letters, and they won't stop. And they will likely send others as well.
Well, if anything, it will make this all the more interesting. Very well. I do appreciate the warning.
She gets up, takes the one that you folded specifically for her, and she turns back to you and says, there is a berth held on a Druman hull leaving in 9 days. It's going west, out to sea, and then east, home. If you wish, you can board it. But if not, that choice is yours to make.
She'll consider it, and she'll give a. She'll stand up and give a bow or gesture of respect on specifically that it's her choice to make, and is very thankful for not trying to force it.
She pulls her hood up over her pointed ears and says, it will be the boat that I will be on. And if I've learned anything of your character, I expect I will be heading back east alone. And she gives a fist and palm salute, like her right fist is covered by the left palm, kind of held at chest height, and she gives a bow over it. It's like the merchant and traveler sort of courtesy that's common to Tianjia. She uses her left hand to cover, which in customs means like a peaceful intent. And she gives like a full bow from the waist, which is a definite sort of sign of respect rather than politeness.
Okay. I also expect that your trip back will be alone, or at the very least, without me. I hope you luck in your travels. And should we meet again, hopefully it will be on more pleasant terms.
Very well. Saiwan, burn well, Phoenix. And she'll turn and leave into the rain. And leaves the 4 cranes right where she left them, kind of facing the water.
I think Min will stay out for a while longer, just to consider the situation before she does eventually collect the cranes and will clean them up to put in her pack before heading back to the rest of the party.
All right. You head back into the evening. The rest of the party has done their work for the day. And we will skip ahead to 3 days beyond that. The dawn of the 4th day.
Which I do the earn income for the remaining days then?
You certainly can. If anybody has any other downtime activities they want to do for the last 3 days that haven't been already accounted for, you're free to do so.
Okay.
It is a beautiful morning, and you know what? I'm going to override it and say that it is clear.
Hey!
Oh
sun
God,
is
what are they
shining.
doing? The nobles have
birds
cast
are
control
singing.
weather.
Yeah, it's nice and sunny and muddy everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
It's rained so much you sink 6 inches into the ground anywhere you walk.
Just complete. Liam's drowning, actually.
Just ride on somebody's shoulders. Do you mind taking me out of the mud, please?
No.
I seem to be sinking.
I splash water and make it worse.
At least you're clean from the waist up.
Made a bit more money. That's good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think the only thing that I had left on my kind of like to-do list, so to speak, was just collecting or earning as much money as possible. So if we do need to try to get into the gala, we have some resources.
Yeah.
We're not like dead poor, but we're all not exactly noble rich. Anything.
Yeah. We don't have fuck you money. Is
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
not
don't,
quite.
You don't.
We
Yeah,
take
then
the
you can
rich
do
parents'
3 days of earned income as well. And on the dawn of the fourth day, I suppose, Stormgrow, you have something new to show the party, right?
oh,
Yes, it looks like the dog is finally listening to commands. I think I've trained it well.
Who's a good boy?
Finally,
Mature
yes.
enough to come into fights with us now and not die immediately. Look at how
What's his
beefy
name?
and big it is now. It's mature.
Did you give him a new
He
name?
he needs a name still.
What have you been
It'll
trading him with? Just dog?
Jeff.
Well, what about I
My
like
name
the
is
name.
Jeff.
I've been calling him Squiggle because I think it's cute. So we'll go with that. Squiggle.
All right. It's nice to meet you, Miss Quiggle. Give him big pets.
Okay. Let me get some art for your token set up here.
Oh yeah.
I'll get it sorted in a bit, but Squiggle is Gary Boarhound is with you now. And so you have access now to the Is Gary Boarhound support benefit, which is quite nice actually. For one action, you can get a +1 circumstance to your next attack roll. It's the same as an aid, essentially a non-critical success aid. To strike a foe within your Boarhound's reach, it lasts until the first time you use it or until the beginning of your next turn, whatever comes first.
Ooh.
And if it's the Boarhound's designated foe, it takes an additional 1d6 piercing damage. And then once you get Nimble or Savage, which is later on, you can increase that support benefit damage.
Adam Squiggles.
Yeah. But I won't make much use of that, I guess, because I don't strike. But
And so just so you know how it works, the designated foe or whatever refers to its special bonus here in the description.
Oh yeah.
So as daily preparations, you give it a sample of an enemy with fiend or undead, and then that makes it its designated foe.
Also, I want to point out that it just says you get a +1 circumstance to the next attack roll to strike a foe within your Boarhound's reach. So you can easily use that with like needle darts or something.
Oh, that
Yep.
counts as strike? Oh, I
Yep.
thought strikes were only. Oh,
I
okay.
believe
Well,
so.
there we go. That's good to know.
Only 4 hit points though.
That's only at level 1. Got more now too because I took the mature, companion feat.
How chunky is he now?
Oh no, you're right. It does say strike, like capital S strike, which is the strike action. That's different from like needle darts. But whatever, we can say needle darts works.
Fair.
You would have to say +1 to attacks.
I have a question. Or Liam would want to do a little bit of investigating. Has there been any more reports of anyone missing in this area? Because wasn't there people missing in this? People going missing in to the.
There's livestock going missing west
Yeah,
of
just
Saringallow.
livestock.
Okay.
It's just kind of like a
Okay,
background.
livestock.
Remember, it's not like a serious problem right now or anything. It's just the scuttlebutt, you know.
I mean, maybe
Okay.
we would also want to go check out the haunted manor.
Has
If you
more.
want, you can go check out the haunted manor if you want. It's up to you. You
Sure.
can certainly do that. Why
Yeah, I'm
can't
about
I
to take it a day
post-
trip.
Where's the haunted manor?
It just says outside of town. This is the
Haunted Manor.
Serini Manor.
Okay.
There is rumors that there's a Serini. So Serini family, everyone would know just from sort of local knowledge. Serini's a noble family that existed in, or still exists in Cheliax. They're very much allies of House Thrune and Queen Abigail. They had a really big presence in Cantargo, but in this region, they've kind of been forced out by the more rebellious sort of people of Isgir, and their manor still exists outside of town. But people say it's haunted, and they don't go there.
You think we could find some documents in there? Some family sigils we could make use of?
Oh, maybe.
There we go. We got a ring for your doggy here.
Nice.
Okay. Why isn't it?
You're gonna have to get Hush off of your starting token now.
Oh, yeah. How's that work? Is
Ooh, can't officially change until you update your artwork. Sorry.
that's right. Well, I don't even know that was supposed to be Hush in the artwork because I didn't have an Animal Companion level 1, but we'll say it was. I don't know.
I mean,
I mean, maybe Hush is just they'll come around and hang out sometimes. Maybe can't fight anymore.
There we go. How's this for Squiggle? A little older than the original picture.
Love it.
Oh, yeah, adorable.
And then they've got a token. I just got to set up the dynamic, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Just got to size it properly.
Just a Clifford size boarhound.
By the way, I have no idea where this would be applicable narratively, but I just got the idea that like if Min is going to the gala, it would like make paper cranes of different devils to just show
That'd be
off.
perfect.
Oh yeah, perfect.
There's Squiggle.
Jesus, he's huge. He's so much bigger than the rest of them.
He's a medium-sized
Feeding him.
creature. What do you want?
Yeah, what have you been feeding him the last 4 days? Damn.
I imagine Stormcrow just like disappears in the woods for 4 days with this little baby boarhound, comes back with this like monstrous, like beastly
Yeah.
one. It's like, druid things. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just
Like,
rigid.
Jesus,
Just whisper a druid song to it, and eventually it grows.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna get half
Liam
of
could,
that. Like, where's all our
Liam could,
rations at?
Liam's small enough where he could ride Squiggle like a
Oh
horse.
no. Well, time to take some mount feats.
Oh,
Yeah. Just work on my archery.
It'd be like a super
Alright.
fast mobile bless platform.
Yeah.
Everybody's good to go then?
So you
Yep.
kill the ring there.
I had to, yeah.
So I just posted in our
Canon.
Discord my dog with an 11-year-old girl. So you
Oh,
can see why that has a medium-sized token.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
large dog.
And my dog is a
Very
runt, by the way. So
Ah,
Alright.
All right, so it is cold when you guys come up from that basement. Properly cold for the first time this year. And Zara's up. She's up, and she's got a cloth bundle pressed into your guys' hands and says, keep warm on the road. And Mary walks you as far as the western or the eastern gate, which is probably farther than she needs to go. And she talks the entire way about nothing in particular. The weather and the bridge and this guy she once knew in Logos, and she says that she's gonna, she's obviously nervous and says that she's gonna miss you guys, and hopefully she sees you again safe and sound after your journey into the capital, and to please be careful. She says, right, well, come back and come with a good story, and I promise I'll make you all very famous. And that's it. She goes back up the street without looking over her shoulder. Rockrag doesn't come to see you guys off. And before you get about 200 yards outside the west road, one of you happens to glance back, and there up on the wall is the tall, long-eared figure of Rockrag, kind of watching you from one of the town watchtowers. And he's still there until the town kind of disappears around a bend. 3 days of travel. The cold makes a turn. The second night, the rain goes to sleet, and then it turns into actual snow. And at this point, the snow doesn't seem to have any signs of stopping. Let's advance 3 days.
Oh my god.
As winter is beginning to approach.
Winter is coming.
We're at the tail end of autumn now.
I remember when it used to snow in my area.
Late on the third day, the road crests over a hill, and you get your first look at the capital, the glorious capital of Isger. The Canerica comes down out of the north and runs straight through the middle of this city. And the city's built up on both banks, and it's walled all the way around. So the river actually goes into Elidir through these enormous gates set right into the river to blockade it. And you see little sentry boats rowing back and forth between them all day long, dropping inspectors onto one deck and picking them up off another. There's a lineup of ships before they're allowed to go through the city. Nothing floats into those gates without several men and ledgers climbing above onto their decks first. But you don't get to the walls yet, because before the walls, on both sides of the roads, there is the caravanserai. These are walled compounds, a dozen of them, maybe more. Each one is basically its own little village with its own gate, and they're absolutely heaving with people. There's inns and stables and warehouses and water troughs and smiths. There's a yard where somebody's shoeing horses as you come in, and wagons are parked flush axle to axle. There's oxen and mules and camel. There's no business for a camel being this far north, but it's there. And there's snow that's been trodden into brown, muddy slush everywhere. The smoke kind of hangs low, almost like a fog, and the noise of the people is drowning, and it's like 9 different languages. This is where trade actually happens. Half these people don't look like they have any chance or even intention of ever getting into the city. They sell here, they buy here, they hitch onto
When I get too close,
outbound caravans heading into different
let's get
nations
screwed up.
and turn around. And it means that, 6 armed strangers kind of coming in off the road is not interesting at all for these people. Nobody looks at you. Nobody questions anything. People just kind of brush past you as you make your way into the first of these compounds. And you skip by each one, maybe make some small trades along the way. And a couple of yards beyond the last one, there's the wall and the land gate. And there's a queue, which seems to be moving very, very slowly. Because the first thing you notice is that every single person that approaches the gate, whether they're alone, whether they're on a mount, whether they're in a caravan, is being made to explain themselves to the border patrol. What do you guys do when you see this 100 people long lineup that heads towards the gate?
Well, I think we're just kind of getting in line at this point. 'Cause we're what was the exact cover story for the documents? We were the Ashmark caravan guards.
Yeah. That's
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard Ashmark Caravan, Ashmark Guards, but I was getting a thing. What was going on? I know we were going up to the.
That was our cover story.
Yeah. So I know we were going up to the gate and we were in line or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where you
the
are.
line
now.
is
There's-
like 100 long. It's a huge line.
It's very long, yeah.
millions.
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 2
All right.
million people trying to fit in this city. 12,000 or 12,000.
Exactly.
I guess I'll go into hibernation until the end of winter then when we get to the line.
What if one of us was to go up to the front guards and maybe hand them a little bit of an incentive to let us move ahead in line for the Ashmark family?
I don't know if we have
Oh,
enough
and
money
I
to
forgot
spare
to
to get past that
mention-
many people.
Before you guys left,
Yeah.
this is the whole reason you guys waited 4 days, is Rockrake would have given you guys information that came back from their courier. You're supposed to meet a contact at a place inside the city called the Isgari Circle. From what he understands, it is a set of standing stones that exists somewhere in the middle of the city, and people are very superstitious about it, so they don't really go near it. So it's a decent spot for like a clandestine meeting. But you're given like a call and response sort of passphrase to meet your contact there.
And yeah, House Ashmark is I mean, it's not like the lowest of the low, but it is definitely. I would not assume that they would get preferential treatment in Elidir.
I'm not saying that they will give it to us for free.
I don't know.
Most of these guards, you could cover their wages with a few gold coins.
I don't think we need to skip the line. I mean, we can keep that as an option if the negotiations break down, but skipping the line might draw attention.
Yeah. Plus, if we wait in line, we can pay attention to what happens to the people in front of us and be ready for it.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys discuss this, the line slowly moves. There are all sorts of interesting sort of people sit here. You guys have your own kind of cover stories. You don't necessarily need to attach yourself to other people, but you would find that there are farmers that are coming in to bring produce to sell at the market. There's dwarven traders coming all the way from Absalom with clockwork inventions. There's like a half dozen partisans led by like northern warriors that come from northwest Isgard to join the army, to fight essentially the Hellbreakers and rabble rousers and whatnot. There seems to be a menagerie, like a traveling circus that is coming into the city for some kind of show they want to put on. There's all sorts of strange and fantastic people. But you guys have your own documentation and cover story, so you don't necessarily feel the need to necessarily attach yourself to anyone. But you get in the queue, which I want to say is kind of its own experience. You've never been on the road for 3 days and then had to wait in line to actually get into a place, but sure enough, you find yourselves behind a wagon full of turnips, and the light is starting to go in the day, and it's getting colder by the minute. And you're not exactly positive how long you've been in this line, but long enough that the family in front of you has stopped talking to each other, and they're not particularly happy to continue on. 4 wagons back, somebody is audibly praying, which yeah, you're not really sure is either like true devotion or just some kind of theater. But the gate itself in front of you is enormous. It's built to take 4 carts abreast, and you can see the wear on the stone where 4 carts abreast used to certainly go through it. But now they've got 3 of those lanes barricaded off with big, heavy timber barricades and barrels. Only 1 lane is open. And because 1 lane is 1 conversation at a time, it's not going fast. They're not exactly trying to move people through this gate. They're just trying to be very careful about every single person that comes through it. And as you finally approach through the line for what feels like hours. You get about 3 or 4 carts behind the people they're interviewing. You can see these sign placards with parchment that have been kind of bolted to the stone wall of the gate, and it is the bounty against any known associates or members of the Hellbreakers League, or any rebels that would cause harm to Isger or Cheliax or its nation or its queen. So the bounty is there in full force for everybody to see as they come in. And there's a second bounty that is below it with very crudely drawn depictions. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if any of you have even met the leaders of the Hellbreakers League, but there is a depiction of Alceo and Phoebe, sort of crudely, almost offensively drawn, and it names the leaders of the Hellbreakers League, and there's a very substantial bounty for information leading to their capture. And finally, you get to within 1 cart length of these border guards, and under the arch there's a trestle table, and on the table there's a ledger, and the ledger is chained to the table leg, and there's braziers on either side, sort of set behind the table, so the light is like coming past the guards onto the face of whoever's standing there. And there's a boy about 9 years old, you figure, give or take, and he's working the line with a bucket of hot water and a rag, and he's going down the row of soldiers so that each of them can dip their hands because it's freezing cold outside. They towel their hands off and then go back to writing in the ledger. The soldiers look like they're miserable. The Isgari army tabards are pulled over on their coats. And it doesn't look like the army issued anything for winter. But everyone kind of solves their own problems differently. Some of them have like big thick gloves on. Some of them kind of stand a bit too close to the brazier. And it makes them look a lot less like a disciplined army unit and more like 8 people who just happen to be trying to get through their job. But off to the side, there is an unusual figure that stands at this table as well. That's not Isgari army issue. This creature, the soldiers give a berth of about 4 feet, and they don't look at this individual. But this individual seems to talk quietly to everybody who comes through. And you see this.
Oh.
As you guys lay your gaze on this person for the first time as the wagon in front of you disappears, you may, of course, recall knowledge. This is a fiend. It is a devil.
So does my scholarly journal compendium come into play with the +1?
Yep, you definitely have more than a minute to kind of refer to it and look in your Pokedex for whatever this thing is. Mindy, you are so far off base that you make some ridiculous claim about what this is if you want.
Clearly, she's the guard captain.
Oh, and I have devil lore.
Yep, devil lore would absolutely work here. Let's see.
I think Min could definitely imagine that, like, because of how like extravagant some of the Goken ceremonial armor might be, like, oh yeah, this is just that.
Stormcrow unfortunately doesn't know much. Your religion is not great. Your society's better, but still not enough. Let's see, Varen. Varen's got Cheliax lore, but even still, that roll was not enough. Mindy, you crit failed. Okay. Nateris, unfortunately, didn't learn anything. Liam did. Okay, so Liam, you know what this is. You're the only one who seems to know
Excellent.
what you're dealing with. This is known. Well, it's unofficially known as an auxiliary devil, but you know its true name. It's an Aduator. They're not truly devils. They are mortals that are infested with devilish power. So at some point, this was a human, but now it kind of blurs the line. They've taken on power and become sort of devil bound. They get a taste of hell's might as rewards for the loyalty to the cause of tyranny and oppression. They will ruthlessly enforce Hell's will at any cost in order to further their own deals that they've made and ambitions. They want to be a Devils, but they will never truly be one. And they climb the ranks of mortal societies. A lot of these people end up becoming Hell Knights. But their ultimate goal is they want to be indicted into the sort of hierarchy of hell and become true devils themselves, which is something that only, an archdevil can actually do. And so you would know that they're fiercely fanatical to whatever cause that they are devoted to. They are fiendish, devilish, unholy humans. Statistically, beyond the obvious, what do you want to know about them?
Let's see. Do they have any special
Abilities?
powers of abilities, like especially with like perception, seeing the unseen, or like seeing through that sort of thing,
Well,
Sure.
their powers aren't to do with interrogation, like how bone devils are. Their power is actually in the ability to track and destroy their enemies. You would notice that the Aduator has a musket, like an actual firearm, a flintlock firearm, kind of resting against a wall nearby. And these creatures are famous for one thing in particular. I'm going to post this to chat. I think it's like the coolest thing about them. They don't carry ammunition. Their ammunition is summoned from the Hell Forges when they fire their weapon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
So they teleport a bullet into their gun to fire it, and that bullet was made in hell.
oh wow.
Hey, Varen, does your family have any intricate like god uniforms like they do? Pointing at the devil.
Nothing like that. No.
I imagine you heard some story about like Aduators getting into fights, and maybe there was some in the Battle of Breach Hill. And like when the Eagle Knights would seize their weapons to use them, they found that they were useless because they had no ammunition for them. So it's a strength that goes both ways for Aduators, but it is there helping to conduct the interrogations right now, and that's about all you know about them. Even the soldiers seem uncomfortable to have this creature around. But the turnip wagon right in front of you rolls forward. A woman, gets turned back at the gate. She just there's no shouting or anything. She just kind of steps up, and there's maybe 15 seconds of quiet conversation, and then she's walking back past all of you, and she pulls her turnip cart behind you, and you get the impression that she's been rejected before, and this is just like her daily attempt to get into the city. And she just kind of looks at her boots, and the gap closes up, and then it is you guys as you wheel up in front of the infantry soldiers and the Aduator. I'll move you guys to another map.
What's the ratio of people getting into
Not
being refused?
Maybe 1 in 4 gets in at best.
Oof.
But you would notice from the maybe half a dozen that you were able to see directly that those who get in probably have papers.
Yeah, I imagine it's also refugees type that can't get in, or poor people essentially.
Yeah. But the man at the table is in his 50s, and he looks like he has a cold, and he finishes up the previous line of the ledger, blots it and dips his pen, sets it down beside the book, rubs his hands together and puts them near the brazier to heat them up again, and then only then does he look up at the 6 of you. And he looks like he's already tired, and he looks down at the ledger and up to you. Papers, please.
I'll hand him our papers.
And he'll take the papers and look them over and scan each of you very carefully. And what question the Aduator has for you and what answers you give will have to wait till next time.
No.
Very
Just-
cool.
Just a heads up. On if I fail a check on Devil Lore, I can swap and do another roll on Arcana. Due to one of my skills, so that comes up.
Oh,
That
cool.
would have
Yeah,
just come
definitely.
up a minute ago.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. If
Can't
you want,
believe we're about to
you can
lose
roll
to
again, and
bureaucracy.
we'll see if you can
Okay.
learn something else about this creature.
Yeah. Finally, what's you guys?
Those are just the Chelish infantry soldiers. They have pretty cool helmets, but yeah, they're probably not wearing them yet.
How do they
Yeah,
see out of those things?
Your uniforms are pretty cool.
Those
But
are all, the dark spots are all like negative space. There's nothing there.
Oh no, Nateris, you get less knowledge than you started with.
It would figure.
Unfortunate.
do you have a disagreement? That's not a guard captain over there. That's clearly a lower rank officer.
Yeah.
You're getting
Just
in an
in
argument
makeup.
with Min.
In makeup.
Just makeup. Why don't they just let some schmuck sit over there?
Yeah, there's some actor, some theater type.
And so next time we'll come back and the border guard will question you intently for the glory of Cheliax and only allow people in who have the proper papers, I suppose. But I'm sure Corvo will enjoy being part of that discussion. Let's hand out hero points. I'm sure you'll need them going into the city next time we play. Didn't really do a whole lot of rolling today, but that's fine. Why don't we start with Stormcrow? You got a new companion.
I did, yeah. I'm gonna give mine to Min because she had a lot to do this session and gathered a lot of information for us. It's been paying off. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mindy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand it off to Varen for giving us an inroad, a noble house, a fun little path out through. It'll definitely work out, and nothing will go wrong.
Right? Well, thank you. I'm gonna give my point to Stormcrow because I want to make sure that Squiggles can re-roll and not die next round if necessary.
Yeah, it's important. Can't let Squiggle die.
We'll leave Corvo with the hero point that he had last time. Liam, what about you? Who do you want to give one to?
I'll give one to Nateris.
Excellent. I'm sure we'll get to see some of the new Magus power soon.
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm looking forward to it. I've got vested interest in this.
Nateris, what about
Well,
you?
and I'll turn right back around and give it to Liam, getting out there
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
Awesome.
teaching the way of Milani.
I think
Bring
we've
some
gotten
hard
into the
match.
point now where the voting is just we always do 2 to each. We're at that point now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, sometimes it goes wrong and somebody needs 3 for next session.
That
Well,
is
that's
true.
true.
That is true.
Yeah, that
Like-
does happen.
The problem is we never know when that's going to be.
Well, I mean, like, if we ended the session like, and Liam falls off the ledge, you know.
Well, true.
We'll end it there. Tune in next time.
Well, what if Corvo falls in another pit? Maybe there's a hole in the middle of the Azure Stones.
That is true. Yeah. Although 2 is nice. Having 2.
Gives you some breathing space, yeah. I'm sure we'll see some action from Corvo going forward because without spoiling anything, I will say that Elidir does have an orphanage in it.
Cool.
I would assume the
We
largest
got to
town
put
in
him
the
at a
country.
window for that. We got to put him at the window for that.
Well, now there's a subsystem to punish him if he does bomb an orphanage, so we'll have to see if he gets away with it.
Yeah, I can see us creating an undercover identity for him to where he's the window washer, but he specializes in orphanages.
I don't know how good it is going to be a look for the Hellbreakers if somebody's bombing orphanages out here.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I see Squiggles got 34 out of 42 hit points.
Oh yeah, I
We
don't
got
know.
a
It's more than me.
Squiggles on the map here. There we go. Squiggles got to heal up.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
if Squiggles gets on the map, then Thorn should be on the map too, right?
Here, I'll put Thorn can be
There's no
we'll put him in the
animals in the
stables up
gala.
here. Too big. He can be off to the side.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't
Animal
think
companion
this
section.
section's gonna
Where's
get
my
funny.
potato leshy?
Oh my god.
We need to have recycling.
Absolutely.
All right, well, looking forward to a bit more of an urban sort of chapter as we go forward. Chapter 4 is pretty much all taking place in Elidir, and it there's definitely some interesting and very humorous problems going on in here. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of fun with it. So, looking forward to next session.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
I'm suddenly
Go on.
sad that I went intimidation before diplomacy because my diplomacy and glad hand would be perfect for this.
Oh, intimidation will definitely come in handy going forward. You won't get no use out of it. So,
That's cool.
All
But
right,
at least I
well-
still have my devil thing. So
I'll leave it at that. Any questions, comments, things you guys are looking forward to or missing out on?
Thank you for the dog scene. That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been building up to that for a little while, so I wanted to do that while you were here. So,
all right. Well,
That,
thanks
that
for watching,
does
guys.
help a little bit.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate you guys hanging
all
out.
right.
Oh,
Enjoying the
I
game.
do want to pick your brain at one point briefly.